Yeah, so what's been in the news a lot lately is the Jews. What with the war in Gaza and all that. All the Israel and Jew hating and stuff going on. And so I thought, well, since everybody's talking about the Jews right now anyway, I thought I'd just go ahead and throw my 2 cents in. So I'll tell you, everybody wants to malign the Jews and say they're bad people, but I don't know. I mean, they're nice people. They're nice. I mean, they're decent people. They're okay. But I mean, don't let them be in charge of nothing, okay? Because that's a whole nother thing. Because to be honest with you, I mean, they're nice people and everything, but just they'll screw something up. They screw things up. Okay, that's the bottom line with the Jews. Okay, they're nice people, they're decent people, but you let them be in charge of something, and it's just they just mess things up. They just do. Okay, it's in their nature. So I'll give you an example. Okay, Albert Einstein. He was a Jew, a scientist, a genius. Nobody, you can't doubt his genius. Okay, and he had a lot of good formulas, some of the best. But he had this one formula, okay, and in order to make the formula work, he had found himself having to introduce this thing that he called the gravitational constant. And then, so he does that, it works okay, but then it turns out there's something not quite right about this whole gravitational constant thing, and he ends up kind of retracting it, saying it was the biggest mistake of his life. Look, I really appreciate Einstein. He's a nice guy. He had some great formulas, but bottom line, okay, Isaac Newton, he didn't mess up his formulas. Okay, F equals ma. Period. No extra thing thrown in there because it didn't quite work or something. He couldn't quite get it to work. So here all these. You can imagine with Einstein, it's like the whole world of science is using this thing. They trusted him. They thought, guy knows what he's doing. They use it, and then it turns out, oh, it's messed up. It's messed up. You don't put it in there. Okay? So that's a big disaster. But now, it's getting even worse. Okay? Because I read recently now that some scientists are beginning to think that actually the constant should actually be in there. And so now, when they go to do some calculations with this, they completely don't know whether to use it or not use it, and it's a disaster. I mean, that's what you get with the Jews, okay? And I'll give you another example. You probably didn't know about this, okay? Back in the 30s and 40s, there were these Jews. They said, we're starting to get more accepted in American society. We should try to put on a campaign to promote ourselves. And so they said, okay, we'll make a series of documentary films showing Jews, being smart and productive and doing good things, and then more Americans will appreciate us, and we'll be accepted more. So they started making these films, and they started showing the films, and people saw it, and they just started laughing their ass off. People were so amused at what idiots they were, they just started selling it as comedy, and that's how the Three Stooges TV show came about. Bet you didn't know that. So that's an example of what you get with the Jews, okay? Nice people, just, don't let them be in charge of nothing. I'll give you another example. This one from recent history, okay? So in Israel, they've got an aerospace company, a private company, kind of like SpaceX, but they're not that big, but it's some kind of super science, experimental research type thing that got enough money to build a rover to go on the moon, a lander to land on the moon. And they put it in a rocket. They sent it up and they were about to make history, being the first private company to put a lander on the moon. But then they messed it up and the thing crashed. So they became the first company in history to crash a lander on the moon. Go Israel. See, that's what you get with the Jews.